What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Output Racing League race number 4 from the Canadian Tyre Motorsports Park. How are you doing out there today? We got these boys working hard and we got them working pretty well. As long as the stream looks good. How's everyone doing out there today? We are, as I said, here at the Canadian Tyre Motorsport Park, the first road course Output Racing League has ever done. And it's not just a race. This one is actually sponsored by one of the drivers. So this is the Sxar 35 Canadian Tyre Motorsport Park race. As you see, some of the drivers are struggling a lot with certain parts of this track. We're going to go out and attempt to show you guys how to run this track. But I must admit, I am pretty horrible. As we see Dylan Alt there going for a spin. So we're going to get out of here before Matt Burgess. This is the first section that everyone's going to keep an eye on. Turn 2, this downhill area. Very easy to get it very wrong. And we head into this right-hander here for turn 3. Or I guess technically it's turn 4. It's got a double apex there. It's up to you whether you use a double apex or not. They've got another downhill braking zone into a very tight uphill braking zone for what is technically called a hairpin. Then we've got this long back straight here. And this is where a lot of drafting and a lot of moves are going to get done. And then a slight right-hander to come to the conclusion of the lap with a quick little chicane section.
Right car up on the right.
I'm definitely not the fastest one here, and I'm definitely not the most consistent. But it'll be interesting to see these oval boys tackle the road course. As you can see, I got it wrong there. I went a little bit too fast, got out into the weeds. It is recoverable from there, but it's not easy. Whoa, as we went across the front of Caleb Finn there. I feel we're being stalked a little bit. So it's a fairly simple track and design, but difficult to execute. It's very easy to get sideways and go off the track. Just like that. Especially in these first gear corners. It's very easy to overstep the mark and just hit the gas that little bit too hard and send yourself around. And normally, pit road entrance is, you know, on the left side of the track. Here, it is on the right side, and even the pit boxes are on the right side. But it's a much easier pit road to get into than most of the ovals. There it is, there's pit entrance. And you want to make sure you're not too far to the right, or else your crew guys can't work on the car. So you want to be about here, pretty much left side tyres on that crack there. as we go back out to look at how everyone else is going. See Jonathan Hernandez on screen as he goes and takes the corner, and Brian Beach, the 95, taking it out wide. Oh, sorry, Caleb Finn, sorry, in the 95. Oh, Jonathan Hernandez got it all wrong, and Caleb just ran straight into him, nowhere to go. Tommy de Bordeaux has been the absolute pace man all week. We had a practice session earlier on in the week, and he was just absolutely dominant in that. He did a 1:18. He's done a 1:18 here so far, and 1:18.661. Second place, Matt Burgess, a 1:19.655. Third is Dylan Alt with a 19.880. So we're going to let you guys enjoy the sights and sounds of these NASCAR trucks coming around here. See now, I've got Dylan Old on the screen. He's one of the informed guys up there in third place. We've got 15 people signed up for the race so far. Sorry, mate, that's 16. Someone hasn't gone out and laid a lap yet, as we see Dylan Alt get turn 2 all wrong and back it into the tyre wall. That's what I was saying before. It's so easy to get that turn wrong, and so easy to just go into the wall. I've got a couple of rule changes for this track. There is no full course yellow. It's all just going to be local yellows at each corner. So if there is a big crash, unless the admin call for a full course caution, it's only going to be a local yellow. As we see there, the one of Brandon Bennett battling it out with Jonathan Hernandez, who's now slipped down to 5th, as Zach Nichols has come up to 3rd. Oh, that's another area of contention right there, pit lane exit. Because even though pit lane exit is offline, just up the road it becomes the racing line. I'm ready for a great race, Derek. Are you ready for a great race? That is, of course, Derek A. Myers, ladies and gentlemen, sitting currently in 6th place. Just quickly typing into the chat here. He's done a 1:20.257. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you guys with the sights and the sounds of this for a little bit as we see the 95 of Caleb Finn battling it out with Justin Bowe there. Justin Bowe is sitting in P7 currently. We can see there that Justin Bowe tried to take the outside line around Jaron and got it just very slightly wrong. I think we might see a little bit of that on the start as we see two cars spinning off there. That is the 8 of Frank Isaacson and the 7. A driver who I don't have on my standings here yet. Oh, it's Dalton Cowden. He is on my standings. I'm just a little bit delusional. He's currently up in the 7th position, actually. Look at these guys, line to stern. And for a bunch of oval drivers, these guys are not doing too badly here, as we see Justin Bowe going for a big inside move. Dylan Alt going for a big move as well, around the outside of Justin on the final corner there. Gets the move done. Justin slots in behind. Justin now trying to fight back at Dylan. They got a car coming out of the pits just in front of them. It is the 5 car in front of them. It's the 5 of Pentacuff. Dylan, desperate to try and get around him, couldn't find a way through. Oh, they're all off, all 3 of them. Justin gave Mark a bit of a punt there on the corner entry, and they've all gone off. As we're going to see some more death and destruction there for Justin Bowe. That's a little bit weird by Brandon Bennett. Not sure what. Justin Bowe doing a burnout there in the gap at the end of the pit lane. I think they were trying to see if it would do the launch, but it won't here. Now Justin Bowe comes out of the pits backwards, getting a big kiss by, I think that's Dylan Alt. Justin's trying to race him backwards. Justin still going backwards, trying to see how long his engine will last. As we see the other drivers going the correct way around, dodging around him, and Dylan Alt's now going backwards as well. Gets off the track, spins, oh, just misses Tommy Bordeaux there. Wow, that was close. Justin's still going backwards, he's damaged his engine now. Of course, these cars do not have fans to cool down the radiators. The only way they cool down is by driving forwards. So driving backwards, starving the engine of much needed cool air. Now Justin's going along the back straight that's not exactly straight. Oh, Justin getting awfully close to Dalton and to Frank there. as we see now Justin Botello is going the right way. And now onto the pace setting Tommy Bordeaux. Alright, so I've got about just under 10 minutes left in practice. I'm going to leave you guys in silence while we listen to the awesome roar of these V8 utes going around Canadian Tyre Motorsport Park. As we start heading into the last 4 minutes of practice here, people will be starting to think about definitely getting the track down and possibly start thinking about doing some simulation qualifying runs. At the moment we still have Tommy Bordeaux on top, Zach Nichols in second, Matt Burgess third, Dylan Alt fourth, Thomas Harmon in fifth, Jonathan Hernandez in sixth, Justin Botello in seventh, Dalton Cowden in eighth, Derek Myers in ninth, and Jaron Hazen in 10th. We've also got the return of Steve Turner. He's been away with some army duties, but he's back. He's not doing too well today though. He's all the way down in 12th position at the moment. As we are now under 3 minutes to go. So what we are going to do here, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, the cars will be getting ready to grid up. So make sure you stick around for that. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We have the grid. Alrighty, starting off the pole will be the 57 of Tommy Bordeaux. On his outside will be the 15 of Zach Nichols. Starting behind them will be the 42 of Dylan Alt and the 12 of Matt Burgess. Starting up just behind them, we got the 27 of Jonathan Hernandez and the 26 of Steve Turner. Starting out of P7, we do have the 20 of Justin Patello and the 1 of Brandon Bennett. Starting out of P9, we have the 95 of Caleb Finn and the 54 of Derek A. Myers. Starting from P11, we have the 13 of Travis Massier and the 8 of Frank Isaacson. Starting out of the 13th position will be the 5 of Mark Pentecoff, and on his outside the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Starting out of 15th, we will have the 7 of Dalton Cowden and the 86 of Gerald West. There's not really a good way that I can show you these guys. Starting out of the 17th position will be the 4 of Jaron Sanchez, and on his outside will be the 9 of Jaron Hazen. And on the last row by himself will be the 31 of Mr. Logan Lansford. We're looking at having a good race here. We should be rolling very shortly. And while they're in the pace laps here, we're going to watch them through the blimp cam. In fact, you know what? Let's go chopper. Let's chase them in the chopper. Get into the chopper! Alrighty guys. What corner of the first lap is the first accident gonna happen? Is it gonna be the final corner before we actually get going? Is it gonna be the first corner? Or is it gonna be treacherous turn number 2? Let me know in the chat. As the cars start filing down towards the hairpin. Very long pace lap. This is why we only got local cautions instead of full course cautions. Let's see. We got one for turn 4 and we got one for turn 2. Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. As we start filing through the final few corners now, the pack is going to want to start tightening up a little bit so we can get ready for this start. Pace car's gone in,
Green, green, green.
and we are off and racing for the Sxar 35 here at Canadian Tyre Motorsport Park. Tommy didn't get the greatest of jumps there. In fact, he is in a tight battle there with Zach, and he's on the outside of turn 2. Pulled it off there nicely. Looks like everyone might have gotten through there cleanly. In fact, everyone's looking pretty clean, full stop. Let's just go focus on crashes for a quick second. See if anything pops up during the race here. currently focused on the 42 of Dylan Alt and the 12 of Matt Burgess sitting in third and fourth. It doesn't look like we've got very much road rage going on at all at the moment. So we're going to head back to the front with our leaders. Tommy Bordeaux, the first one to lead a lap. Zach Nichols in second, Dylan Alt in third, Matt Burgess in fourth, and Jonathan Hernandez sitting in P5. Looks like we're having some people towards the back having some telemetry issues here. We might have to get tech to check out their transponders at the end of the race. Just like Mr. John Theodore was having issues at the end of the towards the end of the race last week. Still Tommy Bordeaux with a big lead here. Let's go through the pack a little bit to see if we can find any action, and I can see something right there. No, I thought Matt Burgess was starting to catch up to Dylan there. Dylan with a big slide coming out of the final corner. Let's start working our way back through the pack a little bit. See if we can see any battles going on. There's Steve Turner. His first race back without put. Thomas Harmon still all the way back in 11th position. Just one in front of Dalton Cowden there. And there's Jaron Sanchez. He's trying to get back to the back of Logan Lansford, who's made his way up from the very last position. Looks like things are just starting to string out a little bit. As we've still got Tommy Bordeaux in a commanding lead. I think we're going to let iRacing decide which is the most exciting thing to watch right now. And we're back in the battle for third with Dylan Alt and Matt Burgess. And now we're all the way back with Thomas Harmon, who has made his way up into 10th. As we see there, Caleb Finn has gone off the track in front. He gathers it back up, gets back onto the track. That's now Thomas Harmon into P9. That also brings Dalton into the top 10 and Jaron Hazen into 11th. Let's go back to this battle for third. Looks like Matt has started to close up onto Dylan here. Could there be a move on? Not quite. If you think these guys aren't trying, I bet you they are pushing the absolute limits of these trucks. They'd be on the edge of spinning out every single lap. Fastest time for the last lap so far was done by Zach Nichols in second at a 1:19.448. Dylan Alt's the only one in the top 4 outside of the 1:19s. Caleb Finn, I'm being told, has made his way back around Jaron Hazen before the end of that lap. and officially got scored as being in P11. Steve Turner's spun out. Oh, it looks like he's very gone. He's not showing up at all. That's unfortunate for Steve. Really was hoping that he'd be able to do well here. He's generally one of our better drivers. And how's it going, Mr. Aaron? Haven't seen you in a very long time, my good friend. To those of you who want to be in the know, Aaron was actually going to come racing with us tonight, but once he found out it was a Motorsport, he decided to no. Yeah, that's understandable. The road courses in the trucks are not easy, as we see the 7 of Dalton getting a move on Brandon Bennett. That is for the 8th position. We're going to go back to the front with the leaders in a second. So Zach Nichols is still in a very comfortable second place. And Tommy Bordeaux has got an absolutely commanding lead. In fact, I'm wrong. Zach, what's happened to Zach? He must have made a mistake on that previous lap. He's dropped all the way back down to 7th. Wow! This promotes Dylan Alt up into P2 and Matt Burgess up into P3. Now guys, because we don't have full course cautions, what I'm going to do is at the end of the race, we're going to go through and have a look at the carnage report. So that way we can see all the accidents and incidents which did actually transpire throughout this race. As we're going to go back to focusing on the most exciting thing on the track, which is the battle between the 42 of Dylan Alt and the 1 of Brandon, oh no, the 15. So Dylan's made a mistake as well. And Dylan's off the track again. Dylan must be really starting to struggle for tyre wear here. So we are only 8 laps into this race. So officially just under 1/4 of the way into the race. Oh, as we see another spun car there. I'm not sure who that was. I think that might have been the 27 of Jonathan Hernandez. No, it wasn't. So much action going on everywhere, it's hard to keep up. We are going to try and do our best. I see this snarling pack here. Go back to looking at Tommy. We're going to go gyro cam inside his car for a lap, and I'm going to shut up. There you go, guys. That is a lap in gyrocam with Mr. Tommy Bordeaux. And he's not even pushing right now. He's just absolutely cruising. You see, there was no sliding, no real pushing of any corner. Just smooth and fast. And that's all you need to be in this situation. His last lap was a 1 minute 19.985. He's currently the only driver still running in the 19s. As he's starting to come into lap traffic here. Right in front of him is the 13 of Travis Massia. Let's actually look from the back of Travis's car at the closing rate that's going to happen here. As Travis gets that all wrong. Oh, Travis has some damage there. That officially puts a 1 car a lap down with the 1 retirement of Steve Turner. Zach's gone off. Where is Zach? Oh, he's all the way back there. Wow. That's a big fall from grace. He's all the way back behind Derek Myers in the 54 car, back in 9th. He is looking at trying so hard to get around Derek though. Let's go check in with our second place driver, Mr. Matt Burgess. He is just in space all on his own. He must just be cruising. Let's have a look at where Jonathan Hernandez is. There he is, down the bottom of the track there. Just behind these guys is the 20 of Justin Bowe and the 7 of Dalton Cowden. They're having a battle. Let's watch these guys for a minute. Dalton trying to look for a way around. Justin goes in a little bit too deep and just gifts Dalton the 4th position. That is unfortunate for Justin there. Right behind these guys is the 38 of Thomas Harmon, who's battling with Dylan Ault. Looks like they might have had a little coming together there on the final corner, but Dylan has just powered his way past Thomas. Let's just sit here and watch Thomas for a second. I think he might be a little bit slower than these guys around him, as we see a lot of white smoke there. That is the 7 of Dalton. He's dropped back. He must have gone for a big spin. I see Dylan going around the outside of Dalton in the hairpin. Couldn't quite get the move to stick, but he's going to file in right behind Dalton there. Got a 5-way battle for the 4th position pretty much. Oh, sorry, for the 5th position. Drivers will probably be starting to think about pit stops soon. Dalton's starting to pull away from Dylan. We can go check back in with our leader here. Can't see him through the trees, but we'll see him when he comes out of them. Looks like very shortly he's going to be back in lap traffic again. Now we're going to go chopper cam and look back at these guys here. Oh, Dylan getting very sideways there. He looks like he's struggling a lot as they're coming up to put a lap down on Travis Massia there. Such a close, intense battle here, and they're only battling for P6. Right ahead of them looks like to be Justin Bowe. Justin's made a mistake. As we see Zach going up for an inside move on Dalton, coming into the right-handed sweeper. Gets the move done with plenty of time to spare. Dylan be trying to look for a way back around. Justin going to the pits. Everyone's going to the pits. We're going to go back and check in on our leader now. Looks like green flag pit stops have now just started. "15 laps into the race, it looks like we're going to go for 2 stops in this race, as we see the 5 of Mark Pentecoff go off the track to allow Matt Burgess to get past. And Tommy Bordeaux is just absolutely cruising. I'm not sure how good he is on fuel. And there's your question, he's coming into the pits now as well. So everyone's next pit stop's going to have to be a splash and dash. So I don't think anyone has saved enough fuel to make it to the end. You see Matt Burgess is now coming to the pits as well. So has the 27 of Jonathan Hernandez. Now looking at the 7 of Dalton Cowden, as he is caught up in this battle here. Gets around Jaron Sanchez there. There's Matt Burgess back out on track. He's still behind Tommy Bordeaux though. Or at least I think he's still behind Tommy Bordeaux. There is Tommy. He is indeed behind Tommy Bordeaux. Tommy maintains that unassailable lead that he's got. Look at that. Absolutely no one behind him. As Matt Burgess comes up to put Frank Isaacson a lap down behind him. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you with the sights and sounds of what's going on here for a second. Alrighty guys, I am back. It looks like we've got a big number of drivers who have already taken their second stop. Looks like we've only got a very small amount of cars who are actually still on the lead lap. Looks like Tommy Bordeaux is starting to get into some fairly heavy traffic. We're going to go gyrocam with him again as he catches up to these guys. See Mark Pentecoff going off the track there. We're coming up to the back of Brandon Bennett. Only 11 cars remain on the lead lap. Made that 10. The next target being Caleb Finn in the 95. Although my numbers here are being a little bit deceiving. But it would appear that Tommy Bordeaux has nearly a full minute lead on the rest of the field. You see just up in front of Tommy here is the 95 of Caleb Finn. We've just got 12 solemn laps to go. As we got a car off just in front of the leader. That was the 13 of Travis Massia. That was very lucky for Tommy. And Tommy also now gets around the 95 of Caleb Finn. So that leaves just 7 cars on the lead lap now, if my calculations are correct. And Tommy has a 17, nearly 18 second gap over the second place of Matt Burgess. As you can see now, Tommy still cool, calm and collected. He's just absolutely controlling this race. He has done since the drop of the green flag. His fastest lap of the race is a 1 minute 18.988. Now let's go back and have a look at how Matt Burgess is getting on. He's got space all to himself as well. No one in front, no one behind for a while. Then we go back to the 7 of Dalton Cowden. And he's got a lot of space to himself as well. Behind Dalton here is the 54 of Derek Myers, who actually has Justin Bowe in the 20 right on his tail in 5th place. Might sit here and just watch these boys for a second. Looks like just behind Justin there, I think it might be the lap down car of Jaron Sanchez. And indeed it is. Jaron not having the best of runs all the way down in P17. At the moment, the biggest loser of the race is surprisingly Dylan Alt. Started in 3rd and down in 12th, which is unfortunate for him. That is, of course, not including Steve Turner, who has crashed out. It looks like Justin is really starting to pressure Derek a little bit here. Could make a race out of this yet. As we start winding down these final few laps, drivers will be thinking about when do they need to pit next, how much fuel do they need to put in. 10 laps to go. In fact, it would be 9.5. And that's to the drivers who haven't made their second stop. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wendell Lowe. I really appreciate that, man. See, Justin is putting all the pressure in the world on the back of Derek. Justin wants that podium. As you can see that Dalton has made a mistake and has now slipped back behind Thomas Harmon into 6th place. Justin's putting all the pressure on Derek right now. He wants that podium. This is not just for position anymore. This is for a step on the podium and a chance to come talk to me in the booth at the end of the race. It looks like Justin made a little bit of a mistake there. Has lost a lot of time. I'm going to go back and have a look at some of the more people here. As I alluded to, we've got Thomas Harmon sitting in P5 at the moment. Dalton Cowden, he's sitting in P6, but he is dropping like a rock a little bit. In fact, it looks like he's about to go a lap down. That's our leader right behind him, Tommy Bordeaux. So it's very possible that after this pass is made, we're only going to have 5 cars left on the lead lap. As they get a little bit of contact there. Dalton not giving as much room to Tommy as what Tommy needed to make that pass stick. And they had a little bit of a fender rub. I think Dalton's a little bit salty that he's actually gone a lap down in this race. As it looked like he tried to give Tommy a little bit of a touch there in the second part of that hairpin. Couldn't quite get his nose to him to do the unsettling. And as we cross the line, we're going to have just 8 laps to go. It looks like we might have lost Justin. Justin's in the pits. Justin has made his final pit stop. Now that Justin's made his pit stop, what does this mean for everyone else? Justin, the first person to make his last pit stop. Hoping that that'll give him a little bit of an advantage. So it's a very fine balancing act of making sure you got enough fuel in the car and making sure you got good tyres underneath you. And realistically right now Tommy Bordeaux could go for 2 pit stops and still come out on top. As we go back and have a look at Matt Burgess. He's just coming up to the hairpin now. Looks like we've got a few people taking pit stops now. Oh, as Matt Burgess goes off the track and into the tyre barrier. He followed Travis Massia into the tyre barrier there. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. Travis has just gotten back onto the track as well. But wow! Late race lapse of concentration there. Where is the 54 of Derek? Derek's right on his tail almost. They are just separated by that sweeping corner. So one of these guys going to blink. Who's going to pit and when? It looks like we're joined in the chat by Jaron Sanchez. Jaron, if you want, man, come up and join us for the end of the race. And the booth here. As we're going to go back to focusing on our leader of this race now, after we had that little bit of excitement. Or maybe not. iRacing can't decide who's leading, but we know it's Tommy Bordeaux. But it keeps flipping between Tommy and our second place driver, Matt Burgess, who's right on the back of Caleb Finn. If you guys would like more information about this league, if you would like to send in an application to join this league, then go to outputracing.com. You can also see latest race results and season standings. outputracing.com.
Tommy's just running away with this race here.
He absolutely is indeed. Everybody please say a big warm welcome to Jaron Sanchez. Jaron, unfortunately, man, looks like you've pulled out of this race. What happened to you, buddy?
Oh man, I just say that road's not my thing there. I spun a few too many times, and I spun it about 10 seconds in front of Tommy, and I just hit the Alt F4 there before I...
Well, sorry to cut you off here very quickly. Tommy has just gone in for his last pit stop of the race. He's just pulled in to get that last little splash and dash to take him to the end of the race.
These pits are real difficult to get in and out of. If you're not perfect, you'll make you back up because you're too far right, and it's just terrible getting in there. So many people had to back up and go forward and move left and right. It looks like Tommy nailed it.
And Tommy has been absolutely nailing this race from the pit stops and the drop of the green flag. And this is temporarily going to put us focusing on Matt Burgess, still in P2. Matt's doing an absolutely fantastic job, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, he just had a couple little mishaps to drop to the...
It sounds like we might have lost Jaron for a second there. And it looks like Matt Burgess and Derek Myers have come in for their final pit stops of the race as well. Second and third, they are very close. And when Tommy comes across the start-finish line, we're only going to have 4 laps to go in this race. I think, but at the end of this race, all these drivers need to stand up and take a bow, because This has been an amazing race. Only 3 retirements from what I can see, which is much less than what we had last week at Bristol. As we're just here focusing on Tommy, we're going to take one more lap with him in nose cam this time, when he comes across the start finish line the next time. As he's coming up to the back of some more lap traffic. I can't stress this enough, but we do only have 6 cars on the lead lap. And the next car in the sights is Thomas Harmon in P6. Alright guys, we're going to go nose cam on Tommy here for an entire lap, and I'm going to shut up. Alrighty, you just seen there Justin Bowe went off the track and is now right in front of Tommy. Justin was battling it out hard with Thomas for that top 5 position. Looks like Justin might have just gone a little bit too deep there into that right hand sweeper. And Tommy, he's just cruising. He doesn't care. He's got such a big gap that he's not pushing the car at all. You heard, you know, the very minimal amount of tyre squeal that was going on when he was taking those corners. Just cool, calm, collected, and smooth. As Tommy comes up to finish the penultimate lap. He's going to come out of the final corner. He's going to be greeted with the white flag. And there it is, white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. And Tommy, he is definitely winning it right now. Tommy comes out of the hairpin for the final time down this long back straight. You can hear now he is just super cruising. He's letting Justin get away. He doesn't care. He's just chilling out. He gets the win and he knows he's going to get the win. Here we go through the final section here for the last time. Tommy Bordeaux comes out of the final corner. He's going to cross the line to take an absolutely amazing win here at the Canadian Tyre Motorsport Park, sponsored by Sxar. Speaking of Sxar, here he is in P2. He's very, very comfortable P2 at that. As he comes through this final section for the last time. Out of the final corner. And he's going to cross the line to take an amazing second position. And now we're following Dalton Cowden, who is in P3. Now he can't be as cruisy as what the other two were, because he's got the 54 of Derek Myers not that far behind him. And he comes out of the final corner now. And he's going to take that third position. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back in just a second. We're going to get these drivers sorted out, and we'll be back with our top three and our hard charger. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And as you can see, we're starting off with a hard charger award for tonight. And tonight's hard charger is the 7 of Dalton Cowden. Dalton, man, what a race.
Yeah, that race was one for the books. It, just just watching everybody kind of do their thing and slide off track, and I was picking them off one.
And how about the absolute dominance there by Tommy Bordeaux?
Oh my goodness, dude, that he is quick. I need to get in his car. I need to put a passenger seat in his car or something and learn from him because he is fast. And I was trying to keep up. I took no tires on the last stop to try and cut the gap down, and it just didn't work. He kept growing it and growing.
Yeah, well, Tommy, I'm pretty sure we could probably say that he's alien status confirmed at the moment. I mean, he's won 2 championships, and just the margin of victory here was so massive.
I mean, he lapped up to what, 4th place. He lapped me there for a second, then he had to pit, so I got my lap back. But good race by Tommy. It was.
All right, man. Let's talk about your race now. You started all the way back in 15th. What kind of dramas did you have throughout this race, being as though this is the first road race that we've run here with the Output Racing League?
I didn't have very many dramas. I just kind of let everybody, like I said, they kind of just went off track or made small mistakes, and I picked them off slowly, one at a time. The pit stop was a little weird. You got like too close to the wall because I was kind of on like a corner. But other than that, it was a fun race. I made a couple mistakes. One corner I hit the grass a little bit and it just turned on me, and I was like, what the. But other than that, I had fun. I want to thank Output Racing League, Sxar, my sponsors, TP Knives, and everybody behind me. It's been fun.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you very much, man, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, hopefully I can do the hard charger again and maybe win one.
Oh, we can only hope, man. We can only hope.
Yeah, yep. Have a good one.
Alrighty, guys, so that was the 7 of Dalton Cowden coming in P3 and getting the Hard Charger Award. Coming up next, a man who needs very little introduction, but we are going to give him a little bit of one anyway. He is tonight's sponsor of the event. It is the one and only, the number 12 of Mr. Matt Burgess. Matt, how are you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. With Tommy in the race, this is about where I expected to finish, so I'm happy.
Now let's talk about a little bit of an incident you had there late in the race. Now we were following you for a very brief moment, and we seen you follow Travis into the wall at the hairpin. What happened?
I think it was the 5 there. I don't know if he was letting me go or I wasn't sure, so I was kind of stuck in that, unsure if I should go a little bit faster through that corner or hit the brakes, and that little bit of indecision, I got in too deep, so then I caught the wall. And then when I went to come back on the track, I think Travis just ended up turning into me, and it just counted as a 4X, but it did a little damage to the front. I was a little worried. So I started, well, Tommy was so far ahead and I had a big enough lead that I was just kind of taking it easy at that point, just to make sure the engine made it.
Now, how is your interpretation of our first ever road race here at Output Racing, and what dramas did you face throughout the race?
I actually didn't have too much of an issue. Most people, got out of the way and, watch for the lead cars coming through. I did have a close call with Logan. He was coming into the S's on the end here, and I was coming up behind him, and I come through there a lot quicker. He got out of the way just in time, so that was probably the biggest, I guess, oh no moment, because I thought I was going to catch him, but he got up to the outside just in time. I didn't have enough brakes to stop.
Yeah, I don't think we got to see that one. So, man, while we got you up here, who do you have to thank for tonight?
Well, I want to thank, of course, you for broadcasting. I know you took some time out of your day to do this. And then Jaron for putting on the league, and
Congrats to Tommy for winning. He's finally, got into the top 5 this year. I managed to keep him out so far, but I couldn't hold him back this time. And I love Mosport. That's why I wanted to sponsor it. I find it a great track. Hopefully we come back.
Well, I'm hoping so too. Because it was a great track. It was a very great race to watch, and it was just really awesome to be a part of. And thank you, man, for sponsoring this event.
Oh, you're welcome. Output Racing, I think it's up and coming, and it's a fun league to be in.
Alright, awesome. We'll let you go now, and we'll go and have a couple of words with Tommy.
All right, good night.
Alright guys, so that was the 12 of Matt Burgess finishing in P2, the sponsor of tonight's Sxar 35 event. Coming up next, a man who we need to roll out the red carpet for. A man who has been here through thick and thin, and he's won 2 championships previously, and absolutely dominated tonight. Of course, I'm talking about the 57 of Tommy Bordeaux.
Hi there, Corey.
Tommy, man, smooth, calculated, flag to flag. I don't think we've had a race this dominated before.
Yeah, it was, I'll tell you first and foremost, it feels great to come in here and talk to you again. I feel like it's been so long. Just what a fantastic race, wire to wire with the TommyBordeaux.com Chevy Silverado here. Kind of been a tough start to the season, but, Motorsport's one of those tracks that I had circled on my schedule this whole time, and, I knew if I could just, run a clean race the whole way around that I think I could get the result I wanted, and I absolutely did. No incident points, led every lap. It's a maximum points day, and I gotta say it feels so good to be back in victory lane. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time coming this season. How does getting that win, getting that monkey off your back, how does that feel?
Well, it feels just as good as when you visit TommyBordeaux.com. It's a great website, and it's also a great victory here tonight for the whole team. Haven't even had a top 5 this year, so it's been a struggle. And in points, obviously there's a long way to go, but this is certainly a big help in that regard. And going to Vegas next week, a track I've won at both times now that we've been there here at Output Racing League. Things are looking really great, and just a phenomenal performance. Yeah, absolutely wonderful to be here and win in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, and it was absolutely amazing to watch you. You were magic on that track tonight. Now, besides TommyBordeaux.com, because you've already dropped that plug, who do you have to thank here tonight?
Absolutely. Of course, my teammates Joseph Weaver and Austin Hakes, they couldn't be here tonight, but they're always great supporters of mine. Everybody at the Fast Racing League, everybody here at Output, we've got a wonderful crop of competitive drivers this season. It's been a fantastic year so far. Jaron does a great job putting on the league, and of course, Corey, you do an awesome job putting on these broadcasts. Can't thank you enough. And of course, if you haven't already, go check out TommyBordeaux.com, best website on the net. And also check out my Twitter and Instagram at Tommy_Bordeaux.
Alright, well thank you very much for your time, Tommy, and congratulations on winning the Sxar 35 Canadian Tyre Motorsport Park Race.
Thank you very much. Yeah, baby, we're back in victory lane! Woo!
Alrighty guys, so that was the 57 of Tommy Bordeaux. Very excited, as you can tell. First win of the season, first top 5 of the season. Alright guys, so we're going to wrap it up here. I know I said I was going to go through the crash report, but unfortunately I'm out of time. I've got to quickly run away because I'm going to a Real World Speedway event after this. Thank you everyone for coming out and supporting the channel. This has been an absolutely amazingly dominated race. If you'd like more information on the league, go and visit outputracing.com. And don't forget to leave a like on this live stream and subscribe to this channel if you want to see these events every week. And for myself, all the drivers here in the Output Racing League who did a fantastic job today, and all the officials and everything that helped run the event, thank you so much. And I will see you guys next week at Las Vegas.